Welcome.
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
6 days again. Not quite the week. Had some stuff going on. I think we're across on the video, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, it says we're live. We're doing our thing. Takes a little while to catch up. Alright, so change logs. Where are we? Oh, introductions. We always forget to do that. We're so professional.
Yeah.
Welcome back here, Weird Games. Papa Weird with two friends now. Two barbarians. Which one was the first one? This one. Ben Barian and Billy Barbarian.
Ben Barian and Bill Barian.
Ben Barian and Bill Barian. After I finished stuttering to death. Hello. They're quite large, actually.
Compared to
Gus. Poor old Gus. Yeah. All right. So here we are, Gus. Introduce yourself. And Draghi. Greetings. Very good to see you. All right. I don't think Draghi fits in the Wild West, to be honest, but he's mostly here just to be menace. All right. Soon we're gonna have a whole
Wasn't
brood.
it your birthday yesterday?
Oh yeah. Well, I did have a birthday. That's why we were away. All right. But we don't have to linger on that. We all get older. Okay. When you get to my age, they're not. Well, it was a very special day. Now that we're talking about it, it was a very special day. I had lots of lovely things. But that being said, it's not quite as special as when you're your age. You get to look forward to so many more. It certainly wasn't the worst. I've had some very, very, very bad birthdays in the past. Had some blinders back in the 20s. Not 1920s, my 20s.
Why is this one glossy and this one not glossy?
No, they're both glossy. It just depends on the light you're hitting it on. Actually, one was done, and the water that it was rinsed off in was not really good. So it actually, one of them you should be able to see rust on it. I think it's this one. But I cleaned everything out inside. This is probably the one that was a lot cleaner. In the water that I used to finish it off and wash all of the alcohol and stuff off it.
Anyways.
So yeah, you started talking about it. Anyway, they both look glossy to me. It just depends on what angle you hit what light you put it on. That looks more glossy, right?
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing today? Oh, change logs. We totally distracted me. Where are we?
There was this.
Oh, yeah, the crack in the wall, right? The gash in the wall where they come out, right? Giant opening, and then sort of like the stars behind it fade, and there's just sort of like mountain, hole, rock stuff, right? Hoping everybody gets out. That's not on me, right? They got 10 minutes to get through, okay? From assuming they kill the dragon. Yeah, it's not on me, okay? Assuming they get through and they make it down the steep, windy pathway and don't fall miles and miles and miles. All right, and miles. They end up here at an area where they can come around a corner and can see. Put you guys over here a little bit more. Okay. Come around a corner.
LOS.
Line of sight. All right. Yeah. Sure. So the idea is that they can have a staging area so they can see the lava bathing of the ex-mayor. Okay. So they can get a whole read on the whole situation and see for these. Sure, a little bit worse than that. Palpatine's not coming to save this guy. All right.
At least he still has all of his limbs.
Not after he has been dipped in. The only thing that comes back out is the cage, right? You understand the process of the lava and the dipping and the lava, right? Okay.
But at least he has all his limbs before he gets dipped.
Yeah, sure. Very lucky. Hopefully, people who are dipped in the lava have all their limbs beforehand. All right, equal opportunity limbs here. Okay, all right, let's move on.
Today, what we're gonna start on?
Sure, we're gonna do stuff like we're gonna have like a saloon to buy some alcohol, and also there's going to be a substance in here for making the food taste good. But by doing that, it also makes it's a highly addictive, and also has drug that has debilitating effects on the individual's psyche and willpower. All right, so assuming you eat it, you're gonna lose like willpower and sense of self and longing and all those good stuff.
Monk drank this. Would he lose some of his key points?
Maybe. Well, what you'd probably do is you tie it to their wisdom. They get negatives to their wisdom modifiers and scores and stuff, right? Cumulatively for the time, so that they don't make they're perceived not to be making wise or intelligent decisions. You could probably hit both, make it a whole mental affliction, right? All right. So what we want to do here, we've got 6 rooms to do today. But 4 of these rooms are going to be done over 2 buildings. Some of these ones are slightly a little bit bigger, and we need to have 2 pages to deal with it, right? So what we want to do first, out of all of our notes here, is I think we're going to have a bank, and we are also going to have the stores, and we will also have the saloon. Okay. So these 3 buildings. Oh, and did we say not one more? I'm not sure. I think we'll see how we get. First of all, we'll start with the idea of the store. Okay, so we're going to do the store first.
Didn't you say it was just a big room with a little...
All right. Need some pointiness in my pencil. Apologies. Look how old we are. We even use this. We haven't seen one of these since the 60s, right? Hey. Look how pointy that makes my pencil, though. Seriously.
I can't see it. It's
Okay. Look how pointy that makes my. There's almost an entire centimeter's worth of point on that pencil. All right. Okay. So we're gonna have the store, and this store is food provisions. All right. This is like a providor for the area. Now the food provisions is going to be paid in ration portions. Okay. So the workers here, they do their work. They live in this area. They can't escape for the amount of work that they're done. They're accrued portions. Now, how they spend their portions is up to them. They can. So this is food for portions in this building. Okay. So we have a portion economy. There's no money, but it's just portions. Sorry.
What if they just starve themselves to death?
Well, maybe some people do that, but that's actually quite hard to do as well as you would think, and as bad as your situation. Your spirit and as it's so hard to temper that spirit down that you are actually willful just enough to kill yourself through
Starvation.
Sure, but if you believe in something strong enough, maybe if you have suffered long enough, sure, maybe, right? So it's certainly something that actually does happen and occur out there in the real world, but let's not get caught up on that. All right. Food for portions. So we've got a portions economy going on, all right? So this food here, though, is actually the offal, all right? You know what offal is?
No.
It's awful. Actually, well, it's not quite awful. It depends how you cook it. Some offal can be nice. Offal, also another word for that is sweetmeats, all right? And so these are the things that are like the offcuts, like livers, kidneys, you have brains, brains. You can have the like sinews and tendons, and all of these kind of things can be made down and processed for food. And in some parts of the world, all this kind of stuff, if you cook it the right way, it could be a delicacy. All right. So, but here all they have is this and a seasoning. But the seasoning is what we're going to talk about soon. Okay, this is a drug. All right. So it's
soon off in the soon lands.
In the several minutes from now, if we quickly go. So the idea is that you get your the food here that you're provided comes from the actual aurochs, right? We talked about those rune-branded aurochs, right? So these are fell versions of those creatures, okay, corrupted in that, and they get used as like mountain cavalry here. They get used for other things like beasts of burden. They get sold throughout the lower plains as like this is a ranch, a stud ranch for these kind of animals. And when they die or when they need to be slaughtered or they're not performing, then they get fed, the bad parts get fed off to the regular citizenry, right? The regular people here in this little Wild West town. And they have... Sure. So they get fed off, and that's what they get. So they don't have much of a way to deal with this food. It's not very tasty, so they use a seasoning, okay? So there's a seasoning I want to get after.
The seasoning.
Yeah, so the building here of what I was thinking, so we've got this come across the thing here, and we've got the lava flow, all right, and we have the bridge over here. We got one bridge at least, all right.
At least.
Sure. So there's going to be the building, and it's going to have like a counter at the front where people can come in off the out from the outside. They come in. There's a counter. You get served. You give up your portions, all right, whatever your portions is for the meat, and then you get given whatever cut it is lucky enough that you get. Sometimes you get the good one. Sometimes
Justice in you.
justice, and you sometimes get the poop tube. All right. I think they could do that. Or you get a couple of hooves that you can make gelatin out of. So you see that the idea here that it just has a window or two. It's not a very happy place, and out the back is just where they uh
Did you
we
say that
keep
was just a cage?
we keep the bad food here. Yeah. This part where they are giving the food over to, it's like so we'll steal this off of what they did in Star Wars, right? This portions isn't just like in ours, it's portions for everything. In that Star Wars movie, the first one they did the remakes, Force Awakens, they did portions for food, right? Quarter portions, do you remember? And the dude was sitting behind the cage, just handing out the food for whatever you give him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, something like that, right? It's the same sort of thing that they do in certain prison economies and that as well. You earn a wage and you can buy stuff, and you can go up to a cage and be like, I want some tobacco, or I want some, I just want some biscuits or whatever like that, right? So it's essentially not a storefront where you get to pick around like a convenience store.
Just I give you this, you give me a cut of something.
Keep the meat. Yeah, all right.
It's like Arby's, but worse.
Sure, whatever that is, because we're in Australia.
Yeah.
Anyway, so very quickly and easily, they have this food here. This is how they get all of their meals, pretty much, because the place don't grow nothing, right, other than the aurochs, right? And I'm not sure even what they feed them at this point, all right? Yeah, aurochs and rocks and lava is about the only thing that grows here, all right? So
they eat the limes, the aurochs. They're so tough they just eat the rock.
They don't even really have much to mix it with by way of water, because we are going to have a well that people can draw water and use for cooking and drinking and stuff like that. There is a large communal well and stuff like that, but it's like it's worse than bore water. Do you know what bore water is?
No.
Okay, it's water where you dig down into like a natural reserve, but it's muddy and silty, probably clayey, so you can get water out of it, but it's not really nice to drink or potable. You have to process it in some way after it, right?
It's as bad as the what is it called? The sea hag water.
Maybe not quite. No, this stuff needs to be drinkable. It's not going to poison you, all right? It needs to be drinkable, but it's very silty, dirty, has a foul taste, not a good smell, very sulfurous, right? Might probably kill you in the long run, in that sense, right?
If you don't
take 2 years off your, if average people live to 70 to 80 or whatever, 90, you're probably only living here about 30 or 40 years. Right? So you take a couple of years off that.
Old days.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have a very good health plan, I'm thinking, okay?
Not a good health plan.
Okay, so they have the store here, tastes horrible, okay, but you can eat the meat, you can cook it. This is what they designed for you to have, like where you get your food from. It's like, we pay you to get your food, you get as many portions as everybody else, you can eat as good as everybody else, just go out there and, right, the harder you work, you might get a bonus, and if you want to spend your portions on something else other than the food, well, that's for you, and, you got a couple other things, but otherwise just eat your portions, right? Right. Okay.
Next page.
Next page. So this one here, we're going to do the saloon first, and we'll do the bank after. The saloon is kind of like
with the little...
Sure, you can do it like that. We'll do a larger overview, right? And we'll do the classic on the corner. Okay, so there's a corner here. So this is your entry doors. All right, we've got a thing on there. All right, okay. And this is your entry room, and you're gonna have a stairwell over here that goes up. All right, you're gonna need a second level.
Part 1.
All right, okay. Part 1. All right. Over here, you are going to have the counter, right? Counter comes across. most of the area here. Okay, comes across here. Okay, and then you are going to have some kind of like kegs, and you're going to have probably a back room as well, right? So you have a little bit of doorway there, and you have the rest of the bar stuff, right? So you have all the bar stuff here. Drinks, but the idea of this is not much to drink, all right? Drinks, which is pretty much we were talking about.
Menu.
We're ripping off
Firefly.
other franchises. Yeah, so the way I was trying to explain it is the milk is like mother's milk from Firefly. That idea that it's boar, that's that boar water that's been alcoholized to the point that yeah you can drink. It's been fermented somehow with probably
fermentinators.
Yeah, they've used some to ferment it. They would have had to have used some sugar in it, so there's got to be something that they have access to that is sweet to turn it right. Anyway, so because even ginger beer, acting like a traditional ginger beer plant, the way they used to make it in some ways is you have to feed it sugar to actually get the ginger beer out of it. Same as sarsaparilla root beers and stuff like that require heaps of sugar. Normal beer requires lots of sugar. Anything actually, I think.
Requires quite a lot of sugar.
I think wine. I'm not sure how much sugar goes into the wine process actually. After they stand on a lot of grapes for a while,
and
I'm sure they put other stuff
in a bottle, put a cork in it, seal it.
In Australia, it's actually legal to put fish sauce or something, an egg product. Like so you see some bottles of wine in there. Whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, so we have the kitchens here. Let's move on. We're going to get very long. Kitchens, drinks, barrels. All right, so probably better water. So if you want to pay for the good stuff, you get the expensive water over here.
The GUD stuff.
The good stuff, yeah. You got a very limited drink selection, but you probably got some whiskey. All right, so you pretty much have like
10 portions for a cup.
So we got some form of horrible ale. Bad ale, and we got some form of like a whiskey or a gin or something like that, something that's nicer that you can actually drink, and then there may even be some wine or something here, but nothing fancy. Okay, so
and the what is it? The artificial tastes nicer.
Bit of a drink there, a little bit of a green tea.
Korean green tea and
water. So there's two things here that you're going to order, and these come out of your portions. So your portions now are going off to either have alcohol, right? So you don't want to eat, right? You don't care about eating, but you want to drink your sorrows away while you're here. So you can pay out your portions as much as you want and live your life as an anorexic or something, right? Not eating. Or you can have the flavor enhancer, all right? Okay. So the flavor enhancer, the flavorinator, all right, the flavorinator, sure. Now the flavorinator in itself makes the meat taste good, all right. But beyond making the meat good, all right, and palatable, it actually has a drugging effect. Okay, so this flavorinator is like a powdering substance that you put onto it. And you mix it in, and it's probably going to cost lots of portions, all right? It's a little bit expensive, okay? So that they eat into your funds and reserves of whatever your pay is here on this plane of out on this plane, all right? Sure. So this is fully a drug, okay? So the idea is that it makes people addicted to wanting to not only consume the drug because they think, oh, it makes the food taste good, but it actually is addictive. And you're going to need saves, right? Probably going to need DC 16 saves to versus con, right? Con saves to not get addicted to it. But the more and more you eat it, obviously, the more and more often you're going to make the saves. And then obviously, eventually, you're going to fail. And when you do fail, not only are you, oh, I like this because it makes it taste good. Oh, I really need it now, right? So then you get that dependency on it, all right?
So and if this enhances the flavor to make it taste good.
It actually works. It does actually make it taste good. So there's no lie in that, right?
On the bad stuff, would it make the good stuff taste super duper good?
Oh, you're saying if you applied it to a regular food or a roast duck dinner or something like that, what would it actually do to it? It'd do what it's designed to do here. It's an addictive drug. Yeah, it would make it taste better. It's a flavor enhancer. It would be the best roast duck you had ever tasted. Not just a palatable meal, in the ever, right? Celestial meal, like King's Bounty and then some, all right? But if you, if you eat it and you fail, you are going to take -5 penalty to your intelligence and wisdom.
Just
all right.
Forever?
That's well, at least until you stop eating it and it's out of your system and you go through the withdrawal symptoms of going out of a heavy drug. All right. So yeah, you can't just go cold turkey on this. So it affects your thing, and it makes you want to have it more. So you don't mind being dumber and slower and not smarter because you eat it and it tastes good and your life sucks. So what do you care about it? All right.
This tastes good.
And what it does is essentially it eats up your portions, okay? And by eating up your portions, you're not having as much food. Who cares about the alcohol? But by not being nourished, reasonably nourished, and running yourself on that lower level of hunger and ragged sort of self, where you're in a situation of constant physical longing, right? Because you just have that hunger and that need. It makes these people here, the ones that really get into this drug, they're going to be quite fierce. You know what I mean? It's going to be quite, a little bit grr at you. Okay, right? A little bit. They don't eat. They're going to be really skinny looking ones, but they're going to be quite like lithe and strong looking. All right.
A little bit red angry face emoji.
Now, what we have to do then is we need a top layer. So what do we got upstairs? We've got some rooms, okay? So there are rooms for staying. So along the balcony here, after you come up the, so this is the up and that's the down, okay? Yep. After you, where are we on the screen? There we go. Okay. Right. You have this balcony that overlooks the common area, okay? And you have rooms
with the lava
here.
lake.
All right. Yeah, and you have a beautiful window out here with views out into the lava lake over here somewhere. And what we have here is rooms 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are empty allotted rooms, probably with 2 beds apiece. And these are for a place to stay. This is a legit, you know.
You can actually rest here.
Sure, you can. You can. The idea is that we're not trying to have a place that turns evil and aggressive against the people here. Your adventurers when they turn up. The idea is that this is neutral evil, but it is neutral, okay? And they do have their own way of doing things here. It is not chaotic and killed on sight, and it's not like law of the land, like where you make one foot out of place and some devil pops up and they've got you on a secret contract, a soul contract for the rest of your life because you broke a hidden law, right? This is neutral. Things could go either way. If the party come in smart, or they send 1 or 2 people in smart, and they scope out what they're doing, right? They don't set things off, and it all doesn't go crazy. Then they've got a chance to, they could take a rest. They can talk with some of the NPCs. They can find out what's happening here. They can realize the lay of the land in the situation, that this township is run by these Yugoloths, right? And that they're under occupation, that it is essentially a cattle district where they have to indentured servitude to work the aurochs, right? These fell aurochs. And but yeah, they're not going. So the larger people on the plains here, the Yugoloths, the overlords, they do trade. They do have people come and go. They, as long as you don't, like I said, as long as you don't have some good aligned cleric or paladin out there, big swinging their warhammer around, just trying to make a name for themselves, like we'll only have good in this land of pure evil forever, right? Then your party most likely can get on here and can function through some of this stuff, right? It's only if they turn this entire place adversarial, or if they caught, outright being good and doing things that upset the Yugoloth lord, like the overlord fella, right? So anyway, beyond talking about the politics here, we have to give them in this place here. There needs to be what's his name? There needs to be a patron. Okay. So what I want to do is roll a race. We haven't done this for a while. What was it, D10s? Get your
No,
your
it was
dice. Was it D12s? How many?
8. I'm pretty sure.
Now
Count again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So roll a D10, right? So the idea though is that
D10. Roll 0. Roll again.
all right.
9.
Tieflings. So that makes sense. So we have flip on a male or a female. All right. So we need to do some of this. Let's get into the role play of it. Okay. So we have a patron here.
Female.
So we have a lady barkeep. All right. Patron, female. And she's a tiefling, which makes sense. They're part, like, their heritage, even though they're not necessarily evil, their heritage is infernal. Yeah, so they have throwbacks occasionally, this kind of stuff. Okay, so for whatever reason, they've come here and called it home. Okay, you're probably going to need a couple of friendly helpers in here. All right, that work. They get their portions and stuff as well. Okay, so possibly flip over. Give me another couple of rolls. Just with the dice over to the side.
1d6.
All right, you want a d6? All right. No, they're only going to need 2 or 3. There's not many, right? You don't need very many at all. So we'll probably just flip on a 2 or a 3. Okay? And then roll your d10 again.
3.
All right, so there's 3 helpers here. Okay? 1, 2, 3. All we want to know is how did you got 2 dice trays inside of each other in front of you. You just have to look. Right? And you still manage to get it through the hole at the back of the table like it's some parkour. Right? Oh, whatever. I'm going to roll. While you get that, you've lost your rolling privileges again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gnome. So, what do you have instead of a gnome when you're in one of the, like, Underdarks or you're in a...
Goblin.
No, you don't. You have a Snurfnerblin.
What's a Snurfnerblin?
A Snurfnerblin. What do you... You don't know what they are?
I'll look for
it. Are they in this book? I don't know if they're in this book, to be honest. They might not be in this. I'm not sure if they're known by another name. They might be known as deep gnomes. Let me see. I will have
Deep
to...
gnome.
Does it say it there?
11.
Where does it say 11? 11. Let's see if it gives it their other name. Most people can't pronounce it. I obviously can't pronounce it. All right.
Snurfnerblin.
Yeah, look. Svirfneblins. Svirfneblins. You tell me how you pronounce that word. All right.
Snurfnerblin.
Yeah, like I said before. And you thought I was making it up. Okay, so we have a Svirfneblin. All right. Okay. And the second one, roll again. I'll give you a roll. In the thing. Did you get the other dice?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 3. What's a 3? Oh, I mean, I'm looking at that book. Oh, that's on me. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3. That's a halfling. Oh, we're going to have a halfling here for some reason. Maybe they don't want to be here. All right. They're very sad. Okay. Go again. What's that?
9.
No, we'll re-roll again. We've already had one of those. We're trying to build some, re-roll again. We're trying to build a little bit of diversity in our
2.
roster. 2. So, Al, what do you think you have instead of an L?
Shadowkai.
No, they're on the Shadowfell. We'll deal with them maybe if we have more. And we've already had heaps of Shadowkai. All right, what else do you have? You don't have an elf.
I don't know.
A drow. All right.
Drow and Shadowkai are like the same thing.
They are not the same thing. All right, and they're very emotionally different. Yeah, but there's between being a dark elf, right, and the way they split, and the way that the Shadowkai split, and the lady that they serve, respectively, right? They're not the same thing. Okay? I bet you they're both in this book, though, right?
No.
Aren't they? Isn't there drow in there?
Nope.
Oh, they don't have the drow in this book. Must be in another book. Anyway, all right. So we've got some workers here. We got a what are we calling this? Saloon. We got a saloon. All right. We got a place for them to rest. Okay. We need to put somewhere with for the band. All right. This is the place off here for the band. Or
Can I roll for the band?
a band or a bard. All right. So it'll be someone who's sort of like playing music. You know, you walk in and it's like dun, 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 dun. Are we? Is that Star Wars? Yeah. Sorry, my bad. All right. I don't think we need to do anything other
Can I
than
roll
that.
for the bard? No.
What kind of bard? All right, sure.
What race?
Sure. What race? Okay, go on. What's the
No.
five?
What?
Oh, you wanna roll off of there? Oh, you wanna roll out of there? That's far too difficult. That could be anything. Just roll a d25. Do we have a d25? I bet you. Just roll a d30, d34. A d34. There's your d34. Just add those numbers together and you won't ever get three. 1, 2, or 3. Go on. 2, 10, 15. Quick, count. We're on the clock.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
While he's doing that, I'm going to have a quick
13,
drink of the
15.
sponsored green.
Genocide. It's a genocide fire.
It's a genocide, not genocide. You're almost saying like genocide, like killing all of them. They're a genocide. What kind of genocide? There's
Fire.
four. How do you know? You didn't even know. Oh, well, we're on a fire plane. All right, that makes sense. Yes, there is a fire genasi here playing some kind of instrument off in the corner. All right, I like it. It's fine. Let's do it.
Odd things.
Right. Okay, so next page. This is where we're going to have
the bank.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a bank over 2 pages as well. All right, bank 1 and bank 2.
Okay. Bank P1, bank P2.
Now, why do we do that? Because there's going to be several parts to the bank. Okay, obviously. It's still going to be...
And then the vault.
Well, it's going to be still a single story. This is going to be a single story, not a double story building. Okay. Now...
Was this the first time we've done a double story building?
With stairways in it. Yeah, I think it is. Is that a special thing? Maybe. Know. We just celebrated doing a double story building. Yay! There was much resounding joy. Okay. Bank. On one side, what we're looking at is the entryway, right? So we have the entry. Now, this bank here is not necessarily just a simple repository for magical goods and coin, okay? Although there will be one part of that, okay? What there's also going to be, and what is more important, is the contracts for people's parts of their souls, their life force. Not their souls necessarily. Their souls, once they die, they go or whatever. Yeah, sure. But they sell their life stream, their essence, their vitality off in chunks for joy and happiness, like an illusion. But it's true. It's a real thing. It's something that's offered to them. But they sell off
like a month of their thing for like an hour of pleasure or something.
Well, they'll give up a month, I think, for a day. Okay, so what they could do if they've had 12 days worth of joy throughout their entire thing, then they've lost a year. And when you only live to an average lifespan of somewhere between 27 and 42, right?
A year's quite a lot.
A year can be quite a lot, all right? So, and you're not allowed to just sell your life out. You can't just suicide by happiness, okay?
Suicide.
Yeah,
by happiness.
There is going to be a process in place that this day's worth of joy is only going to be given out, metered at once every week, right? There's going to be some kind of ceremony, and then the one person gets to come up when their name is called. Like you said, maybe they get everybody who's sold their month up for a day, they're in the raffle, and you're waiting on your name to get called up, so you get to have your day, and that could happen soon or not. So that's where that randomness comes in, which could be pretty that can cause problems in the community itself, because it's like, oh, I've had my name in the raffle for like 6 years and my name's never come up out of any of these weeks.
Meanwhile, this man has had his name called 15 times.
Yeah, he keeps going back and selling off his life, right? Anyway, so we have a we're going to have to do the front, which is going to be the part where there is going to be where they have the windows, so the cashiers, essentially. All right, I had to let my brain catch up with me for a second. All right, so we've got their cashiers, okay? And then we have some actual officers. All right. So this is where the people who look after the money taking, the item taking, if there's any, which is probably going to be quite rare here. But money or items, or if they're going to take any of the what's the next one I'm looking for? Souls, because through this next door here in the back area here is where they're going to have
the soul vault.
yeah, so it's going to be essentially a library. Okay, so they're going to have all these scrolls along walls and in library in shelves and stuff like that, bookcases. And the idea is that when you sell your soul out or whatever, your life force out, you write it down, and when you sign your name, the blood sort of flows out of you along the magical pen into the contract. And until that contract is released, the blood doesn't come back to you. When you sign it out and you paid it out, you get to retake your life. Okay. So this is the soul library here, or the life force library. Okay, and on the other side, we are going to have, so what we need to have is we're going to have at least one doppelganger. All right, we need a shapeshifter of some kind in here. I'm not exactly sure what the CR is for a doppelganger. Is it a race? Do they have one as a race?
Oh, they have changeling.
Oh, they have changeling, which not...
And shifters.
Okay, they do have changeling and shifters. Do they actually have just a straight up doppelganger? They do.
Human
82.
mimic.
Have it. 82.
No, human mimics.
Oh, I don't want to have no human mimics in here.
Why not?
We can put one in later on. We can have a whole room of mimics maybe later on somewhere. 82. All right. There, doppelganger. So this shape changer, this doppelganger, they work inside here, okay? And they look like a regular people's. And we're probably going to have, what's their CR on that? 3. So we're probably going to have 3 of them, at least. And we're probably going to have something invisible.
I think we'd be able to put, something invisible.
In around where we have on this next page, where the vaults are. All right? So we have 3 doppelgangers here, okay? So it doesn't really matter what...
form they take.
Yeah. But they are there to look like normal regular peoples, but they're essentially the guards and the workers, all right? So they're the guard/worker. Because we don't want our team to come in and be like, oh, we wait for all of the Yugolos to go away, and then 6 hours later we come through and slaughter everybody in the town, steal all the bank, right? We have to put some sort of roadblock in the way of that it's not quite as simple as whatever else, right? So what we're going to need is, we're going to need a trapdoor over here, right? We need a trapdoor, so this is going to be off to the back area, right? This is where we're going to have an area for gold or whatever. Oh, maybe it's not that big.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty big, considering what we're drawing, right? We only really want it to be the size of that on that back room, all right? And it's cut into 2, okay, like that. So there's like gold goes here, items go here. Let me see. We've got the life force hidden on the other side. What else do we need? This is where we need guards, all right? So we're going to need an invisible guard.
What can go invisible?
One, we're going to need, what are they? Level...
9.
9 by now, right?
Yep.
So we're going to need at least something CR9 or CR10. All right. So we're going to need a guard. Okay.
Hang on, I'll go.
Is that list them by CRs in here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You want to find something out of there? All right. You want to look there? Then why not?
It lists them in like.
Oh, kind of.
There's a Swaruso and stuff.
It lists them by environment.
Yeah.
All right. So we want Underdark, Coastal, Desert, Arctic, Glassland, Mountain, stat blocks by environment, hills, swamps. Yeah, they don't have Infernal Plane of Death on here, do they? But it'd probably be Underdark. What do they got in here that is like 9s and 10s?
Death
House
Kiss.
Curtain. We've already had one of those, right? Let me see. We need to know if these... Oh, do you know what actually could be cool? There's a rot troll there. Right? What if you have not even an invisible one, but you just have one giant rot troll that guards the place? All right? Have a look at it. Yeah, you have a look at that. You find that. That could be fun. All right? So we've got 3 doppelgangers who are guards and workers. All right? So they're in here doing the business, getting people to you know, sell their souls off and stuff like that, and items and things like this, and negotiating with people. All right, but they're actually guards. They probably don't even do much work. All right, we need a boss actually too, and I do know what we're going to do for the boss, but we do need to roll up the banker's boss, the bank boss race. So I'll do that first, and I'm going to do it. Where's the D10? All right, 5. What did we say 5 was before? Did we already have a 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dragonborn. All right, so we got a black dragonborn. All right. The bank boss looks like a very lovely black dragonborn.
Oh, would it be under trolls?
Isn't it listed? If it's in there, what did it say?
It didn't show the
Doesn't
back.
it have, no, but it has it at the front here. You can look in the contents because that's the way it does here. It doesn't have a back index. You just look in the contents for where it says.
Trolls? Troll rot.
Where? In the T section. Troll. Dire.
247.
Right, 247. Okay.
I'll look for that.
Okay, you look for that. Oh, okay. So we have a black dragonborn that looks very well and exquisitely dressed, and this is the one that actually takes the payments, all right? So we'll make it a female.
Troll.
She's the boss here.
Rot troll.
In here, we're going to have a troll, all right?
A rot troll. What about a spirit troll?
What do you mean? I just wrote down rot. You want me to write down spirit now?
Actually, that's a CR11.
We could have one. Let me have a look. That's the difference. Oh, they do look good looking, don't they?
Very
that's
handsome.
Cool. Yeah. Ooh. Dire trolls get like how many extra little bits of appendages and arms and stuff?
Too many.
And faces coming out of their gut. Rot troll looks cool. I like the look of that one. Spirit troll, you said. No, I think that's too big for now. All right. I think just having that challenge 9 plus the 3 yeah.
Shape changes.
Sure. And what we're going to have on the trap here on this door, okay, so we need to describe this trap.
So that could be a pretty deadly fight.
Yeah, definitely. If those 4 plus the the black dragonborn boss lady get together, and that's what, 5 people. That's what I mean. We need to make it deadly enough, all right?
So that they don't just barge in there, kill everything.
Yes. So, and we need traps on all of these. Now, these traps, very simply, are like the other ones that we did when we were back in the prison. The idea of these is just to paralyze you. All right. So these put the trap equals the paralyzed condition. All right.
It like charms you, except it's much harder. So.
Let's see. So paralyzed condition. I think there's an actual condition in here for paralyzed.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing we do when we do the thing that we know what we're talking about. Paralyzed. Paralyzed, incapacitated, so you can't speak or move. And you automatically fail your strength and dexterity. And anything they're trying to hit you is advantage. And any of those hits are crits. All right? Okay? What's what? Petrified is transformed. No, we don't have any of that. It's just paralyzed. All right?
So it's like if you it's like a DC 20.
Yeah, well, actually, we'll make it quite high like that. DC 22. DC 22. Yeah. They're high. They're like level 9s and 10s and stuff like that. How big are they? 9 now. 9?
Yeah.
9. Right? Okay, they could easily have someone who's like the rogue that can hit a DC 22.
Easy. Anything.
Yeah, sure. This is going to be an intelligence save. All right, DC 22 intelligence on the trap mechanism, on the lock mechanism itself. All right. On the lock, okay? And the same with these doors. Same trap, all right?
Where did your pencil go?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm using the mechanical one today. All right, paralyzed trap here on doors. Okay. Now, what's inside these rooms for items and gold? Now, that's an interesting question. I'm not quite sure if I would generate that just now.
Because that's the DM's job.
Well, yeah, I think so, because this is where you can kind of actually look at what your party's got. You can see what they're using or not, and you can see exactly what your party's comprised of. And it's like, maybe they get here and there's no gold. Like, they say that they take your gold. You can deposit gold in here, But anytime you do, it's actually funneled back to the overlords, and you never see it again. So there's no gold, none. It's all taken. So what happens when someone comes back and they want to get their money? Well, you have to take that up with the head banker because they needed the money because things are really hard and they have to pay their money back to the overlord, and they needed to take your money to pay that debt. And so now, if you want your money back, you have to get it from the overlord himself. Now that doesn't sound really nice, but it explains why there's no gold there. All right.
And items also taken.
No, items. This one with actually can be some items in here. This
like
one here. Yeah. This is generated items based on team acquisition. Yeah, team composition and acquisition. Team comp and acquisition.
The thing is, if I was here, judging on that team comp, I would give them everything that would not help them succeed, because they already got a bunch of stuff.
Well, sure, maybe. You don't want to punish them, and that's the thing. You do want it to be like, if they ever did get in there, there is actual stuff that is usable for whatever reason, right? Considering that you've made it so hard, you have to give them some incentive to be rewarded. There has to be some kind of reward. Okay. All right. So we've got a banker boss, got some guards and workers. We've got another big guard over here, rock troll, working to guard this door. Troll. Okay. All right. With trapdoors that paralyze you, with items to be generated later, and no gold. All right. No, wait, one more day. That's only one more. Last one. All right. I know it's been a bit like that. Okay. Dig in. All right. Last one.
Oh yeah, another sip.
This is what happens when you have a birthday and you got to catch up, right? Everything gets left behind. Okay. So what do we got? We got bank. Got stores. Okay. We have the saloon. Okay. So we can take that off. Okay. Now.
We got the bank, so we can take
well. Did we? That's already on that one. Yeah.
Can we do the Mankey well?
Okay, you want to do a Mankey well. All right. A Mankey well.
Just really quick. Just and then done.
All right, Mankey well. So this would be sitting. So we got, this is a big one. That's a big one on the corner. You have that over here. Opposite the, on the other side of the tavern. Right, there's going to be a well. Saloon. Right, so there's this. And you've got the path down here, and you come in, and then you've got one building, the saloon, and then you got another building over here, and maybe up in this area here is the well. Maybe we'll put this over here, right? That one there, and this one is the well. Okay, so the idea of having the well is it's potable water. You can drink it.
It's not good. It'll take a week off your life.
Yeah, a week off your life of 42. Yeah, well, okay, sure.
The elf.
You want it, it's drinkable, but you should boil it first. But boil first, right?
Just put it over the lava.
And strain. And possibly just swap it for something else like alcohol anyway. So you can see why people aren't drinking water out of here. Why it incentivizes them if they can't get fresh, clean water to drink alcohol, other than, you know, killing their problems. Okay. But this is where the party can get water if they want to drink out of it. Okay.
I mean, if they have a sift or anything, they could just like funnel the water through it and then just like put it in like a metal thing and just dip it in the lava for a second.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You reckon you can boil it by just putting it in a metal flask and dipping the metal flask in there?
In the lava for just like a second, like boom.
So we got the bridge here. All right, that's our bridge over the lava flows. Okay. And we're going to put over here, this is where the cage would be, all right? Mankey well and cage, all right? So I can get that drawn in, okay? So this is the cage here that they use to dip people, okay?
The dipping cage.
The dipping cage, all right? All right, very good. So I think we have, for what we've done, covered enough of these days. Yeah. So they come in here, They see what they got. Over here is going to be what first? We got the
Saloon.
no, first we got this little store that's going to sit off in this corner here. All right, that sells the meats, and then next to that is the bigger saloon place, which is a lot busier. Across the bridge, the first bridge, you're going to have the bank, and behind the bank at the back here. So this is going to be the bank, saloon. This is the store for food. All right, and this is the well. Okay, we've already started to build it out. I think we got extra. What are the next rooms you want to put in here? I want to at least get some kind of blacksmith or a stables.
Oh yeah, we've done.
A doctor.
We've done
You can take the manky well off. We need to get a mayor's house, so there has to be like 1 or 2 houses in here, maybe if we can get a room or at least one. We need a sheriff, which is actually going to be one of the Ugoloths out in the open, who's here watching. Not necessarily going to antagonize us. Yeah, we don't like you in Dominion Creek. You don't like your type. What are you doing here? One of them kind of things.
I'll be watching you.
Yeah, sure. So we don't come from the deep west. All right. And maybe there's a shoe shiner running around, I was thinking, so we might have to put a shoe shiner in there. Some kids that might be willing to help you as long as you'll like take them out of this place, right, and save them. You know, so a good.
Please.
Yeah, little Timmy. Hey.
Little Timothy.
All right. I think we've done enough today.
Yeah.
Thanks again. All right. Bill Berrien and Ben Berrien, like to thank you very much stopping by and staying with us.
Well.
Sure. And drive. Yes, very good today. Like everybody, energy. Come again.
Please.
He doesn't say please. Dragi's not the kind to say please. All right.
But he's the kind to sing.
He is the kind to sing. All right.
Do the thing with the comments and stuff.
No hassles.
And we'll see you next time.